Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Canadian Woman of the Outdoors. I don't even know what episode number we're on right now, but we have another special guest joining us tonight. I've known her for 10 years now. 2014 is when we met at Leon's. It's been that long, yeah, her jaw dropped. She is my old work wife when we worked at Leon's. Perhaps the best storyteller I know. Please welcome to the stage Miss Tara Bailey. Oh. Oh, and the giggles already started.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
How does it feel like being on your first podcast?
Well, it's nerve-wracking. Like I said, we were kind of had a little chit-chat before we started recording. Like, I wasn't nervous. I was wearing a Snuggie. I was like, it is what it is. And then I sat down. I was like, I need to put a bra on and a shirt. Oh, maybe I should have my hair down. And all of a sudden,
and you know, it's audio, right? It's going on like Apple Podcasts. I do upload to YouTube, but the majority is Apple and Spotify.
I watch all your ones on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I still watch all your ones. Anyways, yes, I watch.
Okay. Well, you look beautiful. You look ready.
I'm ready.
All right. The cat in the background is so cute. Oh my goodness.
Well, his name is Chester.
Oh
we all call him Chester Meyer Wiener.
Oh my goodness.
Or Winchester.
Winchester. Is that how it started? That name started?
Chester? No. So that's Josh's dad's cat, and his dad passed away. So then we ended up with the cat, and then we just call him all different versions of Chesterfield, Chester, the Wild Wester. I don't know. We just call it a bunch of stuff.
Whatever he answers to.
Yeah, which is nothing because he's a cat.
Okay, that was totally off topic here. Getting back on topic. First question for you. Where did you grow up? What got you into fishing and hunting? And yeah, where's that story?
So I grew up in Lower Stony Creek, which has nothing to do with anything because it's not like, you're like in abundance of fishing. Like we were kind of on Lake Ontario, I guess, but didn't fish really with my family. Like as a kid, my dad, I think he would go on like 1 or 2 trips a year, like with his buddies, but it was more about like drinking beer than catching fish. And sometimes I'd fish at my grandparents' place. They had a place like on the beach on Lake Erie. But like other than that, I don't even know how I ended up picking up fishing, truthfully. I ended up picking up hunting I was dating a guy in my early to mid 20s, and he was avid hunter, avid fisher, had like a tin boat or whatever. So we went out fishing a bunch. That's kind of where I always kind of, like I said, I always kind of fished when I was a kid, but nothing like major. But that's where I like really was like, oh, this is the best. And then I started going like bank fishing and, anywhere that I could find, and just, I don't know, like learning crap on my way. And then he kept asking me to go hunting, and I was like, no, like that's not for me. Like I wasn't against like, no, don't, like you're killing animals or like whatever. Like I just wasn't something that interested me. So I'm like, no, like you just go, and you know how I am waking up early in the morning. So I was like, no, like you go with your dad or whoever you're going with, and I'll see when you get back. And then I don't know, one time I just ended up going with him. I don't know if it was like, I don't know. I ended up going with him, and it was the best time of my life. We were in layout blinds for geese, and obviously I couldn't do anything. I just had to sit there and keep my mouth shut because you can't say anything because now you're contributing to the hunt, and it's a whole situation. But yeah, so I just ended up going one time, and I was like, can't need my hunter's end of my gun license because like this is cool.
So
then, yeah.
So going back to that, just so everybody knows, Tara once full out screamed at me because I had to get her up in the morning to go hunting, and we were in a hotel room, and she full out screamed at me, wondering why she likes hobbies that involve getting up early, as if it was my fault.
I have apologized to a lot of people, including yourself, for things that I have come out of my mouth before the sun is up. I am not a morning person, and exactly what I said to you. I love to go fishing. I say because I don't love to hunt. I'm a fair weather hunter. But I'll go out in the middle of a tornado if there's fish out there. Sign me up. Sharknado, get my lines. So yeah, I choose all these things that I have to get up in the morning for, and I am wretched.
Yeah, no, you are. I love you, but you are.
I'm so sorry.
So with your hunting, you ended up how did you get involved with Canadian Sportswomen's Society? Because you ended up bringing me into hunting through Canadian Sportswomen's Society.
Well, it wasn't even, I don't know if you obviously remember, but it wasn't even truly, I didn't bring you to a hunting event. I brought you to a fishing event. And then because they did so many things, it just kind of rolled into one. But so we have a mutual friend. He had a barbecue. And this is when there were like few and far between kind of like women hunting. Like, I feel like it was the very start of like where we are now.
Absolutely.
Like there's like tons of women. Before there were like not a lot. So when I was on like Facebook groups, any woman that was like chatting with me, like through comments and whatever, I would add them. I'm like, you're cool as shit. I need to be your friend so we can like do stuff together, because I didn't want to go out with guys because I didn't want to get propositioned.
Which straight up, eh?
It literally happened a couple times, and I was like, I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
This is not why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not realize I have a gun with me? Cut it out, homie. So, anyways, so I had added Lorianne to Facebook, and so we had like messenger conversations, nothing major, like a couple things. Like we were commenting pretty regular back and forth on posts and stuff together and whatever. And we ended up at this party, and I was talking to her for, I would say, like 3 hours. And it wasn't until the bonfire at night where someone was like, "Hey, Lorianne." And I was like, "Your name's Lorianne?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like on Facebook, Lorianne, like you hunt and you at Lorianne. She's like, "Yeah." Like, you know her personality, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's me. And I was like, "Bitch, I've been talking to you for 3 hours, and I had no idea that I was even who I was talking to." And I was like, "Oh, like we're pals. Like we're carrying on online, and here you are in my face. I didn't even know." So that's how I ended up meeting Lorianne, was through a mutual friend, and then she had an ice fishing event. I went to it. It was amazing. And then the next one I invited you to.
Yes, and that one was quite the adventure in itself.
Yeah.
Perch Palace. I still say we need to do a reunion at the Perch Palace.
No. No. There's not enough plastic wrap that I could put on my body. For those that are listening, you do not understand. This place was so dirty. It was this whole situation. It was just, no, we are not going back there. That place will only live in my memories, my nightmares.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we're on the topic of hunting and CSS, kind of, what was your first hunt? The first hunt you did? Pardon?
It was a CSS event. It was,
and the one where you had a gun, not where you just went, like where you actually harvested a bird.
Yeah. It was CSS event still. It was me, Lorianne. I think there was only 3 of us. It was me, Lorianne, and Sarah. And we went for geese, and I think possibly ducks, because out where you are now, you guys get ducks in the field, which is so cool. I stinking love it. and we went out with Luke Schurter's Wing Feather,
Oh yes.
whatever the heck. Yeah, so we went out with them. They took us out or whatever have you, and it was just a stinking riot. Like,
Yeah.
So I was wearing like this big puffy, like, because I'm like, oh, I gotta be warm, like this hunting jacket. But when I went to shoulder my gun, it got caught in my armpits. Then I ended up like shooting, like people say shooting from the hip. I shot from the tit, like, and I was like, oh, I was like, it was all black and blue. And then we were making jokes about one other girl. She was like, oh, I hope I took that buckshot out of my gun. Like, she was just being silly. Like, obviously she didn't do that. And then so these birds come in and we're like, pew, pew, pew. And Lorianne, she's like, Sarah? And she's like 3 rows of corn behind us. She tripped on her bucket, fell back. I don't even know it. It was just like, yeah, it was a riot. So that was my first hunting experience.
Is that the one where the goose attacked you?
No, that's when I went out with Steve and Dave Toplinsky. So they're like, Tara, we need an extra gun, which they know dang well I'm just an extra gun because I was so new. I'm still pretty much an extra gun, but that's besides the point. Yeah, and I was like, we shot one, and I believe it was crippled. So then Steve's like, oh, I'll go grab it. I'm like, no, I'll do it. It's fine. Like, I'm going to be so brave. Like, and as I'm like jogging out there, I'm like, you can do it. It's fine. Like, it's totally just a goose. Like, you can do it. You can get it. It's not the ones at Bayfront Park. They're not going to get you. So finally I get to this goose, step on its neck, apparently just give it a chiropractic adjustment because then it gets up. It's like, rah! And I'm like, woo! And I run back. I don't have a belt on, so my pants are falling off. The 2 boys were like laughing their head off. I'm like, well,
I wish that was on video.
no. Yeah. I was so brave going out there, and then it looked me dead in the eyes, and I'm out.
Yeah, they are cobra chickens. They will.
Well, that's why. Like, have you been down to like Bayfront Park? Like, they will up.
Yeah.
Those are Hamilton geese, man.
Yeah. So then is waterfowl like your favorite thing to hunt, or?
Yeah, so I've tried deer and turkey as well, but I can't sit quiet enough. So I went.
Really?
I know me. I went a couple times. I really tried my hand at it, and the first time I went out by myself for turkey, I was too nervous to go by myself because I don't know why I was nervous. Like I just, anyways. So I asked like one of our mutual friends, Dave, to come out with me, and he's the sweetest guy.
Oh,
like,
Topper?
Thank goodness he has kids, because he probably would have smacked me in the side of the head till my hair fell off. Because he's there, like you wouldn't even know he's there. He's doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
Where I am sitting down, I'm shifting left and right. My butt's hurting. I'm opening plastic blueberry containers, like, because I need a snack because I'm starved to death. And like, we didn't even hear a turkey. And I'm sure, and we sat there for, I would say 3 or 4 hours.
Oh.
And yeah, we didn't shoot anything. And the same kind of thing happened with deer. I also went out with Jamie Trudeau for turkey, and I was equally as loud. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is not for me. If I'm going to go out and do this, I need to go by myself because I'm taking away opportunities from other people and I feel bad.
Yeah.
But I literally cannot sit. Like, my butt is killing me. I need to be out there in a Burka lounger. Like, I can't be sitting on these freaking, I don't know what, hunting chairs. Anyways, it's a whole situation. So yeah, so I only go for waterfowl because you don't have to be quiet. You can be eating your snacks, and sometimes you can be out of the blind and just lie down and be like, oh crap, and they'll still come in.
Yeah.
So,
that is very true.
Yeah.
So
waterfowl.
And waterfowl is my favorite too. It's a great social aspect. Like, you can be loud, and it's always like it's nice when you do like big groups, like when we've done like the CSS hunts or the Punisher camp, like the group of ladies. It's so much fun doing that kind of stuff.
I wish, like, it's unrealistic, but I wish when we go on those big hunts, you could, instead of breaking into groups, you could just have like 20 people lined up in the field. But then, like,
it's a lot.
Well, like if we didn't have to, like, for those events, like, you have to choose the date, right? Like, you don't choose the birds, you choose the
Yeah.
date. So you get what you get and you don't get upset. So I don't think we'd ever be able to have that many people out at once. But like that would be like my dream.
Just to have like 20 of us ladies lined up.
Yeah, just have like the whole group. It's not even like, oh, we're gonna shoot so many at once. Like, I want to hang out with everybody at the same time. I don't want to hang out with you in 6 hours after I'm exhausted, have windburn, and I'm trying to have a conversation with you and a vodka cran and I'm falling asleep.
You also have pretty bad FOMO. Like, if we tell stories from the one blind, you're like, what happened there? Like,
my closest friends, we have a thing where like there's 5 of us, and whenever we go out somewhere, I cannot sit on the end because if I miss out on conversation, I'm gonna be pissed.
I remember, I think, what was it? We were at Tim Hales and you were in the bathroom and you were like, don't have a conversation without me.
Yeah. I often just leave the door open. And to newcomers, they're like, what is happening? I'm like,
yeah.
If you don't see me in the bathroom, you have not been to the event.
Well, that's very true. And like, you will full out have conversations from the bathroom. Like,
well, I mean, everyone pees. Sometimes I'm doing a number 2, but that's because I'm disgusting.
Oh my god. So what, before we get into fishing talk, what is your favorite hunting memory? Like, of all the hunts you've done, what was your favorite memory?
Probably, and like for no particular reason other than like figuratively giving this person the middle finger. So another CSS, 90% of what I do are CSS events. So don't be surprised every time I say CSS event. So I was at a CSS event. We went to a wild game farm, and we were shooting pheasants, and I think there was like another bird at Chuck's. Is that a thing? I don't know. We were shooting some birds that we paid for. So the guides, they were like Ukrainian, I don't know, they were European of some sort. And he's like, they were like super chauvinist. They were like, a group of girls, who's going to shoot the birds? And like carrying on stuff like that. And I was getting so boiled. I was going to hit this guy with the stock of my gun. I was like, shut up, Pietro. Like, who are you? Pierre, I think his name was, not Pietro. That's anyway. So, so we're like, we get out into the lanes. Have you ever been to the,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the birds are all put out in the long grass, and so we get into the lane, and this bird is like barely flushed past this guy's head. I probably shouldn't have shot it, and I was like, "What?" I probably just woke the kids up, and his head spun faster than Reagan on The Exorcist. I'm telling you, he was like,
"Oh my god."
Who shot that? And I was like, I did. And also I was mad because he was like running. Like I've done less running when I did Tough Mudder than when I was at this game preserve. That's my favorite memory, but mostly just because I gave that guy the middle finger, essentially.
Well, I mean, that's a good, I mean, I'm glad you didn't kill him, but you killed the bird.
Well, I mean, I'm glad too, because then I wouldn't be here.
That's very true.
I'm in jail, but I was so mad. Like these, like, and it happens all the time. Not to get like on a whole feminist situation, but like.
No, you're absolutely right. That's kind of why I'm doing this, like to showcase like women in the outdoors, because we are this awesome community that we do it ourselves. Like we don't need a man.
No.
So. No. Okay, now we're gonna get on to some fishing, which you are definitely more of a fisherwoman.
That's my forte.
You are stream staff for CSS, or
yes. I say like less because I had twins, right? Yeah. So I helped out a little bit while I was pregnant, and then like the kids are 10 months now, so I haven't done much. Lorianne definitely, like Lorianne and Jamie, like we have a group chat and we keep, like they keep me in the loop on like what's going on. LA asks, like, is there anything that you want to facilitate this year? Is there anything that, like, this is the events we have going on this year, which ones do you want to attend or whatever? So we're organized that way. But more so like having my hand in, I'm like less out, obviously, because I'm super busy.
Well, yeah, having twins.
Yeah.
It's so funny. When you said you were having twins, I was like, not only is she pregnant, that's awesome, but Tara Bailey's having twins.
Honestly, I don't know what I would do if I had one kid.
Oh.
There are times where one of them's still in bed or like having a nap or whatever, and the other one's awake, and I'm just like, can you do something? Like, I have nothing to do here. Like, yeah, especially when it's Amelia, because Amelia can't crawl or stand or anything, and Owen is like all but climbing up the curtains. Like,
it's typical boy behavior, right?
Yeah, they're so opposite. It's crazy.
Okay. Anyway, back to the fishing. What is your favorite fish to target, and what do you use to target that fish?
Okay, so you're gonna hate my answer to the second one, but I feel like this is why you're asking me. So smallmouth bass. So I never caught a smallmouth until I think it was 2 years ago. The first smallmouth I caught was at Brian McRae's Wild for Hope bass tournament.
Yeah.
I had no idea. First of all, I've never caught a fish that has like jumped out of the water before. So here I am doing like, oh, I've got a bass on, da, 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 da. And Josh is like having a whole conniption. I can't even listen to him because I'm just like, I know more than you. I always outfish you, zip it. So I'm just like reeling in my fish. And all of a sudden it's like, jumps out, line goes flying. I'm like, what the hell? And it was a whole production. So I didn't know that smallies, like, because I had never caught one before. I had no idea. And then from there, we have smallies out here at Featherstone Point, like out by Steve's place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we went there a couple times last summer. Nope, 2 summers ago. And yeah, they're definitely, because I like catching bass, like they're great, but like the smallies really put in more of a fight. I wouldn't say as much as a fight as a pike. It's pretty, I don't know. It's different, I guess. It's great. Smallies
jump, and they're feisty little. That's my favorite fish.
You gotta like, you think you're tournament reeling? It's not fast enough because they jump up and towards you.
Yes.
So there's all kinds of slack.
And then they try and spit. They try and spit.
Yes, and they're shaking. It's a whole situation. So like, yeah, your reel is on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's so good. And what do I use? Well, I have 2 tackle boxes full of stuff. I have a closet full of stuff. I got lures coming out of my eyeballs. Do you know what I use every day, all day for everything? I literally never changed my lure. Josh screams at me on the boat, asks me why I even bring my tackle box, because he's not wrong. The Cotton Cordell Big O. It's a crankbait.
Yeah, okay.
You've seen it, the silver one.
Oh,
it's the only one I ever have on. Yeah, so it's silver with black on top, a little red like gill thing, and a black dot.
And that's all you use.
That is, yeah. Well, when we went, where the heck were we? We went, I don't know where we were, but we stayed at a cottage on a lake, and it had like really steep stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was in the paddle boat, or even maybe a canoe or my kayak. And I just like stuffed my rod beside me, threw that guy on because like I said, I literally never take it off. And I was just trolling back and forth. Fish. I was like, Tara, I'm catching all these fish. I was catching like those little pumpkin seed sunfish. I caught pike. I think I may have caught a bass. No, I don't think I did. No, because we were doing a bass tournament. I didn't catch any bass. But yeah, I was like, I don't know. I honestly don't know what this bait is like geared for, like what like Cotton Cordell says, like this is, because I caught a catfish trolling on it before.
Really?
Yes. catfish is doing going that quick after anything, I don't know, but I've caught walleye on it in the Grand River, not like out in.
Yeah, Erie.
Yeah. Like I catch everything on it, and it's my number one favorite, to the point where Lorianne and her family, they call it the Terra. Like they went out and bought, and that's what they call it. They don't call it like whatever.
So how many of them do you have? Because like, what happens if you lose that?
Oh, I have one in every size, and then I have backups in like the bigger and medium size. The small I don't really use because it's so light. I can barely cast the thing, and especially on Erie when you get like obviously not out there with tons of wind, but like you get one puff of wind and like your lure's coming back at your eyebrows. Forget it.
So do you guys on Lake Erie on your boat? Do you guys like troll for walleye out on Erie or no?
Yes. So I'm not a big fan of trolling like that because I get bored because you don't get cell phone. So that sounds so, you don't get cell phone reception out there, but like if we're out there all day for hours, what am I going to do? Read a book? No, I have ADHD. I'm not reading a book. Forget it. So I get bored. So I really like to, cast and reel.
I mean, you weren't bored when we were on Lake Huron doing Dwindle's Dream Charter.
Oh my gosh, no, because I was throwing up the whole time.
That has to be.
My face was purple, but you threw up first, so don't even.
That has to be probably my favorite fishing memory with you because, like, if you don't know, if you need to follow Tara Bailey on Instagram, her Instagram stories are fantastic. Like, she basically gives you a play-by-play of everything. And we started out in the morning, and she's all excited. We're on this charter, heading out onto Huron. Her story is super excited. She's like, yeah, the sunrise.
We did like a Celine Dion moment on the front of the boat. It was like a whole thing. I mean, Titanic. Well, I guess she was singing it, but
yeah. And then 4 hours later, the story is her hood up, sunglasses on, like fetal position. Like
Kenny from South Park. Like I just like
you were not having a good time.
It was like green, purple. I was sitting on this cooler. Oh, it was just oh god, yeah, it's fun.
But we all caught fish that day.
Yeah, it was fun.
I chummed the water and we all caught fish.
Yeah. So Nicole, in all her badassery, she's like yakking, and all of us are like further back on the boat. And someone, probably Lorianne, because she's like, mom, she's like, Nicole, get that rod. And Nicole's like, like it was so funny.
Yeah, that did happen. That hit. So for this year, for 2024, is there a goal fish that you have that you haven't caught, that you want to catch, or like a bigger size?
I mean, everyone wants to catch big fish. Last year, because of the babies, we didn't get out of the boat at all. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, that's a lie. We got out once because we had a rented cottage. But no, I've never thought of that. I do really want to try saltwater fishing somewhere, probably, I don't even know, somewhere in the States. Because I've seen like so many shows and stuff like on Wild TV and whatever, like they don't even move spots, and they've caught 10 different species of fish.
That's crazy.
Right? Like you can't do that here. Like that would, like, not even the kinds of fish. But like, yeah, red snappers look pretty gnarly. They look like they got like big, strong jaws.
Yeah. I mean, red snapper's pretty tasty too. I like to eat that stuff.
Man, I feel like in a dream, because I would never do this, because I feel like you need to be like physically fit, right? A grouper. Those things
are the size of Volkswagens.
You could probably ride it out of the. Do they live in lakes? Yeah, the fresh. You could ride it out of a lake probably if it was like
a grouper's freshwater.
Well, I want to Google it now, but I can't because I'll hang up on our video. No, they have to be. Aren't there ones in the
Hold on, I'll Google it right now.
Oh yeah, Google it for us.
Grouper
in the Bass Pro fish tank.
What does it say?
I could be wrong. But anyways, they're huge.
Apparently there's a lot of different types of grouper.
Yes. Well, it's the same thing as like bass. Who like that would be a cool peacock bass.
Those are ugly fish. My God. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, but it's
Well,
not,
are they
it's not.
saltwater or not?
Well, that didn't really answer. Hold on.
Oh, dang.
Now we're reproduction, parasites. Doesn't really say. It just says they're called. Yeah, there's like no. Okay, so if anybody knows and can comment on this video or whatever, if groupers are freshwater or not.
I think they are.
Someone scientific, not us.
I'll give you someone who knows how to use Google.
That's it.
Because yeah, I can't. I'll exit our video.
I try and use Wikipedia, and it didn't show me the answer right away, and then I'm just like, nope, I gave up. And then I just closed out my list of questions here.
Yeah, so I would definitely want to do some saltwater fishing. Obviously, everybody wants to bass fish in Florida, Lake Okeechobee. But I'll be honest with you, if I'm going to Florida, I'm going to Disney, man. Like, I don't know.
So what is your personal best fish?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Did your bass win the tournament at Wild for Hope tournament?
I think I got second place.
It was second because that was a pretty decent sized one.
I don't remember what I caught. I sound like such like a. I just catch so many fish and I don't remember. No, I don't remember. I do know. I'm pretty sure when we went the super north. Remember we went to
Dryden, Vermilion Bay.
Vermilion Bay. That's what it was. Yeah. That walleye that I caught on Lac Seul.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was my best fish.
When you nearly killed me on the quad?
I don't recall.
Yeah. First time riding a quad or driving a quad. She's like, what am I doing? Like, just gives her. I'm like, okay.
That was so scary when we had to drive into that lake. It was super cool. Like, looking back, like, okay, we didn't die. But, like...
But did you die?
Because, like, I'm not well-versed in ATVs or anything of the sort.
Yeah.
So here we are in the rain, slippery rocks and mud and like jagged things and bushes and trees, and this guy was like super hammered and I was freaking out. There was too many things to pay attention to and not enough medication.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, don't kill me. Okay, so what is your favorite fishing trip or memory that you have? Actually, I lied. Hold on. Do you prefer open water fishing or ice fishing?
Oh, they're two totally different beasts.
Mm-hmm. I like this question.
If I had a gun to my head, I don't know. Okay, I think I would choose open water just because it's warm out. Or like when you're ice fishing, no matter how warm the hut is, your feet are still gonna freeze off. Your bibs are usually like cutting into you, or like your underwear is too tight, like, and you can't take stuff off because like you have too many layers. But I love ice fishing for the fact that like it's so much more calm on your mind because you're at where you're at, and well, unless you go on your own, you're cutting your own holes. But like you're at where you're at, catch the fish or don't. And that's your day. Whereas like when you're doing open water, you're on a boat. Oh, they're not biting here. Let's go 10 minutes over there. Oh my gosh, it's not here. Let's go here. Let's go there. Like, let me get a tan and fish where we're fishing. If we catch fish today, great. If we don't, then we'll catch fish the next time.
Yeah.
But
that's a nice attitude to have.
Well, I guess. I don't know.
I hate not catching fish. I get mad when I don't catch fish.
Well, I think so Lorianne always says like I have a horseshoe up my butt. I do always catch fish. It's not often that I get skunked. Like even if I catch like a crappie thing, like a literal crappie.
Yeah.
I caught something, or like a dink perch that I like put the hook through its eye because it's like smaller than my bait. Like,
That usually happens too.
yeah, I still caught something.
They have big eyeballs for such little stomachs, and they're just like, oh, I want that minnow that's the size of me.
Yeah. Oh, to go back to your what's my favorite fishing thing is when we were ice fishing and I caught the rod. That was pretty cool.
That was amazing.
I thought about that. I don't know how it came to my mind. Yeah.
Yes. So yes, we were ice fishing. We were at what, Tim Hales for a CSS event.
Yep. Yeah.
And we thought you had a massive fish on, but it turned out you had caught.
Yes,
It was a really nice rod.
We got Meigs made with our names on it and everything.
Yeah.
In the epoxy and stuff. And then so I'm like, okay, well, I'll throw it down and hopefully I catch something on this. And then like it'll be good for him, it'll be good for us, like whatever. And yeah, so I would like jig it every now and then. And then I went to jig it and like my rod almost snapped. I'm like, what the dickens? So you're sitting across from me, I'm reeling and I can feel my line is like under me essentially. So I can't see what I'm reeling. And it kills me every time. Tara, don't panic. Don't, there's a rod and a fish. Tara, don't panic. And I was like, Nicole, I'm not panicking. You're making me want to panic. Because I couldn't see because it was like coming from the underside of me.
Yeah, you caught a rod and a fish. I forgot about it. And then it ended up being a decent sized fish too. That was the funny part.
Yeah, I had tied for first place for biggest perch.
Yeah, like it was such a.
Yeah, I think mine was fatter, but then Megan's was like had half an inch longer or something.
Yeah, but that was like, and that like it was such a nice rod too, which kills like.
Yeah, it's the 13 brand.
Yeah,
I still have that rod.
I was gonna say, do you still use it?
Yeah, and I caught that on a $10 Canadian Tire. Oh, I'm going fishing and I need my own rod situation. Like I think that's what pisses Josh off the most is that like I generally don't spend a lot of money on my fishing gear because it's not what you have. Like sure, I can't be catching, a huge fish on a rod that's too small. Your gear's just not going to work for that. But if you have the proper weighted stuff for what you're fishing for, it doesn't matter if your rod costs $1,000 or it costs $10. It's all going to reel in the same. Oh no, my bearings sound like there's sand in them. Still reeling.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
No, it doesn't. I was going to ask you something, but now I forget. That's generally what happens. With now that the twins are here and they're coming on a year, are you guys planning more fishing adventures this summer or?
So we're planning on getting a slip. It's not expensive. It's expensive in terms of like you're just paying for a couple pieces of wood to strap your boat to, but and power. But I finally convinced Josh. I'm like, we need to do it with the twins and a nap and a dinner and bedtime. I'm like, we're not going to have time for you to drive an hour home, yada, yada. Let's just get a slip. It's already in the water. So we're going to be doing that. And
where are you getting that?
In Nanticoke, Hoover's.
Okay, yeah.
It's a real nice place. They have like a new built restaurant and everything. It's really nice. It smells like cedar in there. It's delicious. Yeah, so we're hoping to get out more. And Josh he didn't want to do it because he's like, no, what if we want to take the boat somewhere else? I'm like, bro, which he hates when I call him that. Like, how many times are we going to take the boat somewhere else? We've had the boat for 3 years, 2 years. I don't know. It's literally never even hit Lake Ontario.
So it hasn't yet?
No, because, well, Josh really prefers walleye fishing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was like, other than you like moving us further down Lake Erie and like, I don't know what, launching out of Dunnville, like, I don't even know where he'd want to go.
Yeah.
This is a better option. So that's just like, so we're not really like going far places, just like we need to get out more because we paid for this thing. We didn't get out last year, obviously. So I'm hoping that we do this year. I've already been trying to plan, like where I can zip tie the pack and play and stuff like that. We already have life jackets for the kids. I have seen before, but like our kids aren't walking, so I don't think we need this. They make like essentially like a tether.
Yeah.
So the kids are like tethered on and they have like leashes and stuff. So if something was to happen, they're not like down in Port Colborne. Like,
Oh my God. Yeah.
Going to see you in New York. Let me know how the Knicks are doing. Like, like, so yeah, so just getting out more, not really, setting the bar really low. It's hard. It's so hard with two because you have to open everything twice.
Yep, I can only imagine. All right, and that brings us around to our final question, which I didn't actually send you. It's a question it's a question how I always end my episodes. For those ladies, young women, older women new into the outdoors, what's your piece of advice for those that are trying to get into hunting, fishing outdoors, that have never done it, that don't really have a mentor or anything like that? What's your secret advice there?
So I kind of fell into it because of CSS. So I would say find an organization that does things, or find CSS, because we do stuff everywhere. But find an organization that does things like that, or find like-minded women that understand that it's hard to find a spot to hunt. It's hard. I'm glad we got a boat because I got really sick of bank fishing. Like, you can only do the same thing so many times. But then it's so funny because then you're in a boat in the middle of the water casting towards what? The bank. Anyways. So yeah, just find an organization that does something like that. Find events that are around you and go to them, because you might be scared because you don't know what you're doing, but neither do anybody else that are going to those events. And then if you kind of do what I did, where I just kept going to all Lori-Ann's events, you end up knowing the people there, and then you end up more comfortable with them. So then when you don't know something, you don't feel like an idiot because everyone around you is understanding, you have a rapport with people, and you feel more comfortable to ask those questions that you don't know, like, or how to do something or whatever. If you don't have that, fishing is a lot easier. Just go out and do it. And like, you don't even need to watch YouTube. You don't need to read anything. Go out there with the tackle that you have. And if you don't catch something on that tackle, well, maybe you weren't in the right water. So use the next thing. Oh, look, you caught on this one. Okay, so this works over here by a rock. I mean, that's harder with hunting because you have to get permissions, and it's obviously harder to get a gun license, etc. Than a fishing license. But
no, you're absolutely right. Like, joining those groups, and I've said on multiple episodes, like, if anybody listening wants to reach out to myself or any of my guests, feel free.
I love talking to people. Love it. And I was always brought up in a family where there's no such thing as a dumb question. And I feel that a lot of women who are, especially like on your podcast and just outside and doing the outdoor things, a lot of them do have a super open mind. So if you ask them something that you think is stupid, they're not going to treat you condescendingly or rudely. Like, I literally had that ex-boyfriend who we went open water fishing, and he brought his ice tackle. And I was like, okay, it was Brandon. I totally forgot that you knew Brandon. It was Brandon from Leon's. And I was like, I wasn't rude to him. I was like, hey, you might not catch anything jigging because, like, we're out here for, like, bass and stuff. Like, but he had, like, little, like, ice lures. And I was like, he's like, yeah, I'll just try it. I was like, you might catch it. Because, like, fish, they didn't read the book. They're like, wait a second, I'm not supposed to bite this. We got to go. Move on, guys.
Well, I mean, last year, Caitlin caught a smallmouth on Lake Nipissing with a micro jig head and a mini mayfly.
See?
Ice fishing. Almost 4 pound smallmouth bass on that.
Was that personal best she posted?
Yeah.
That was awesome. I was so proud of her for that. That was amazing. And that's another thing too, is like, when you're new and you're around other new people, the electricity around when you do something, like whether you catch something, whether you shoot something, like, it's just like everyone's reaction is just like so supportive and so electric. And I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like with guys specifically, you don't get that because they're like, yeah, good job, you did it. Like, I don't even know if they would say that. They would just like, yeah, we're out here to shoot birds and you shot a bird. Like, no, man, I shot that and it was more than 20 yards away. I can't believe I did that. Can you give me a high five? No.
Yeah. Well, like when we were on Lake Erie when I shot that redhead, you were so jazzed up. Like you.
I was so excited for that. I was annoyed that I missed, but I was so happy that like everybody missed and you hit. Because like, how cool is that? You're like the two like super vetted guys missed.
And then and that was my first duck hunt too. That was my very first duck hunt, and boom, and you were just like, woo, you got it. Like,
I was almost out in the water before the dog was. I was so excited.
Well, that's bringing us around our time. So thank you so much for coming on. You're coming to the Sportsman Show, right?
I am, yeah. I got permission. Josh said that I'm cool to go the whole time.
Oh, awesome. So I'll see you there then.
Yeah.
So again, for those listening, if you're at the Sportsman Show, we will be at the Canadian Sportsman Society booth with Lorianne and Jamie Trudeau-Lalonde and a myriad boatload of other people. So come chat with us. Come hear more stories from Tara, ask us questions. We'll be there. Pardon?
Just keep going. I'll talk to you about it after.
Oh, God. Anyway, so thank you guys for listening. Tara, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's been a slice. I'm pretty sure Josh is sleeping in the nursery with the kids.
Well, you better get up there with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys. Have a great day, night, whenever you're listening. Thank you guys.
Bye. Love you.